Hello everybody, Krydax here. Welcome back to our full BZ Plus playthrough. We are really low on graphite, and that's our current problem, but we, well, I have an idea for how to fix that, however. But yeah, we have revamped everything to the E-smelting. We're still working on more fusion efficiency. I might be wasting my research. I probably should have used more nuclear, but I decided I'm going to restrain myself to the one 480 megawatt plant. And so, unfortunately, I can't get more power unless I do more fusion. I do think I want to copy this. You know, we're going to do another fusion plant. So we've got 2 of them running. But that does require a lot of resources that I need to gather up again to make all of that. And then what I'm going to do here, because we're low on graphite, is actually set this up to handle 2 output belts. So we'll just let that work itself out. And then we have in, out, out. And this one will be an underground. And so then we've got insert, insert, insert. And then we'll have to have like a combo. So that one will be the right side of that belt. This one will be the the left side of this belt. That will be the far side. That will be the close side. So then that represents all of the arrangements. Get that pasted. Just to be safe. Do a little bit more, make sure we can use up that full 45. Yes, we can. I'm pretty sure I can just delete this coke belt, right? It's literally doing nothing? Yep, literally doing nothing. Nice. Yeah, Iron Wolf Fusion. So essentially what Fusion does is you do a bunch of work to water, and you get heavy water from water. I'll go show you in a second. I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay. So step 1 is you throw water into an oil refinery with hydrogen sulfide, and that loops around, and then that gives you heavy water and deuterium depleted water, which you can then, you know, dump, which is what I'm doing. And then the deuterium water, or sorry, the heavy water, then gets refined into more dense heavy water, because it still has a lot of regular water in it. So you boil out all the regular water, and now you're left with pure heavy water. That gets sent to these electrolyzers, which then get you pure deuterium and oxygen, which they just vent for you. That's not actually a fluid. And then finally, that deuterium gas gets sent into a plasma heater, which is what makes it hot enough, and these magnetic pipes send it over to the fusion reactor itself, which then essentially is a crafting machine that consumes the plasma and creates this megajoules fluid, which then feeds into this, which is essentially a nuclear reactor. It just gets fed a liquid as its fuel, and then it gets hot, and then you heat up your little heat pipes, and everything else is normal from there. You do get these high-capacity turbines, which are 10 times more, which will be nice, but we haven't gotten that far yet in the research. So we won't need these giant fields of turbines. And that saves you a lot of UPS, too. You know, if you're wanting to play Factorio and not use solar, but still save a bunch of UPS, you could use fusion power for fun. And yes, heavy water, I think, is 1 extra neutron. I believe that's correct. I don't know a ton about chemistry, though, so I can't confirm. That does not need to exist anymore. Let's grab all that. And then... Okay, so in terms of to-do list, we've completed a lot of the things we needed to do. Improving oil is a big one, but that's mainly for the purposes of red circuits. Also, let me fix this. Oh, you know, efficiency 2 is pretty crappy. It doesn't even go up to minus 50%? Oh man, that's pretty bad. I'm actually not gonna do that. But yeah, a big red circuit factory is next, which starts with a big green circuit factory. And blue science could use the better... So what do we got here? 1.5? Uh-oh. I'm out of prod 2s. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. That's bad. Yep, I really need more red circuits. How many red circuits do I throw away when I do this? It's 5 blues and 5 reds, and that's 5 reds. Oh wow, and it's 4 of the previous tier. So that's another 20 red, so 25, 30 reds plus the 5 blues. So that's 40 red circuits for one tier 2 module. Yes, I did enable diamonds. These are all as productive as they can get, so that's good. And I did do the same for yellow, right? Yep. I guess the last thing to do is productivity for blue circuits up here. I don't think I've done that yet. Wait, I'm not making blues up here, am I? Right there. That's what I meant. And I think I already did that, kind of, unfortunately. I think I already... Yeah, these are already tier 2, and these aren't, so we'll remove them for now. So yeah, there's not much left for me here. Thankfully, the tier 2 is going to back up again soon, so that'll steal less red circuits. What's happening here? Blue circuits. Okay. Classic blue circuits, being the most expensive thing in the world. Okay, why did I come over here again? Shoot. Had a purpose. I forgot my purpose. Oh, it was to get some of these. Yeah, I think we actually do need something here. Oh, I know what I screwed up. I didn't need this whole circuit thing. We just did this wrong. I've done this a million times before, I don't know why. We just want this to say connect and only insert if those are less than, you know, 50. And then... Oh, but that's a requester chest, so never mind, I did have it right. I mean, I guess we can do it kind of this way. No, that's still not gonna work. You know, I did have a wire before. I actually am just gonna undo it. So, previous Cardax was smarter than we thought. That's the point here. And unfortunately, they're stealing my stuff. So, I have to be very on top of it. Okay. Alright, it looks like we have tier 1s for a while then. And those are the ones that are connected and only insert, yeah, if we've run out in these. Okay, that's good. Good, good, good. Okay, that was all set up correctly. Yikes. Okay, well, big red circuit factory is next. Let me put that on the to-do list. Red circuit factory. and it's going to be a doozy. So I started setting it up, and it's a lot. So I want a full 30 out. I might even go for 45. But this is crazy. So even with beacons, 8 affecting one building, which is, unfortunately, I mean, unless you really want to go crazy, you can get to 12. But then you have to put spacing between them, and it uses way more beacons. So that's not really worth it. So this is the best we can do here. Now, with this many red circuits, here's the thing. With this many red circuits, I will get to module 3s pretty fast. So it's not crazy to build this with module 3s in mind. And then that reduces, you know, my copper costs quite a bit from what they were before. Yeah, I mean, let's look. So this is going to be 36 copper. If I had done tier 2, it would have been 47 copper. That's a huge difference. So it will be very different once we can get tier 3 prod. Yeah, you guys in your buffer chests. I still need to Google that and figure out exactly how they work. I have not done that yet. So that's on me. Beacon by factory 1 is appropriate for all these. Constant beacon is going to be 6. Well, it's really going to be 3, yeah. And then do that. So graphite, iron plate, wafers are going to need to be processed. Solder. And then what else? Bus. Oil, bus. Okay. So everything's on the bus. And the silicon is going to be an issue. But so buffer's like a combo. You can set the requests, but it will also serve up its contents. So I assume it will only hand its contents to requester chests and to the player's requests and not to other buffers. And then the only things that feed into buffers are providers and active providers. Or inserters, I guess, in this case. So I guess the only thing that would save me then would be not needing these chests. But I would still need the inserter with a wire connection, because I wouldn't want to insert these into the chest if it already had some on the way from the logistics network. But I guess I could do then the logistics condition, because the buffer technically counts as something in the logistics network, I guess. Only requesters that have the box checked will be fed by buffers. Oh. Then what does a buffer feed by default? Nothing? Just the player? The buffer only feeds the player? So it's basically a requester chest that shows its contents as being in the network. And then it also feeds the player and I guess construction. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, anyway, back to our planning. This is all good. We don't need to do anything else with the belt, or the bus, I mean. And now we're going to make the oil stuff all in one chunk. So that plus we need the petroleum, which will show up as we make this one. Okay. Matrix solver? Nope. Did it work? Did not work. Sad day. Why did you not work? Hmm. Oh yeah, that makes sense, Iron Wolf. You can just put them along repairs or next to workshops. Yeah, that's a good idea. I've never really used them very much. They might be even more important when I do Pyanodons and have a gigantic base. So why is this not working correctly? I never quite get it. 272.7. It's like neither of these are even on that number. So what is happening? Well, unfortunately, we will have to set the outputs manually, which is fine. Let me just make sure all the productivity is applied, otherwise the numbers change. Same in here. The beacons are less important than productivity. Okay, so then we want 272 be the output amount. 0.7 and 16.49 carbon black. Oh, you know what? I think it's the carbon black that's the issue. Never mind. It's smarter than I gave it credit for. I am the dumb one here. What we need is carbon black from coal. And then we're good to go. Okay. Wait. No, this still isn't right. It's not making... We can do this, I think. There we go. Now I believe we're correct. So now all we need is coal, oil, alumina, check, lead, silicon, copper, check, tin, graphite, iron, check. Okay, sweet. So here it is, our beautiful, beautiful red circuit factory. Okay, now these are going to have the 8 affecting 1 with the speed. Did that work? Yeah. Okay, now these are not going to have 8 affecting 1. These are usually more like 4-ish. So 4 refineries should be fine. Alright, so let's get crafting here. Oop, I already have 3. Let's do 6 refineries. Always want some room for expansion. And I'll leave room for expansion as well. And then I need some chemical plants. I think 15 should be plenty. And this one doesn't require too many chemical plants either. I'll probably shift the organotins and plastic into the other one. Which does mean I have to, let's see. I have to do that and this. And is that right now? Yeah. Okay. So there you go. There are the costs as cheap as they can get for red circuits. So even with all the prod in the world, a red circuit is half an iron, half a graphite, tiny bit more than 2 copper, a third of a silicon, a fifth of a lead, 2/5 of a tin, about 7 crude oil, and a sixth of a coal. No, an eighth. So, there you go. Altogether, it's quite a bit of ore. But not as bad with productivity. It ends up being actually mostly oil expensive. 6 oil is a lot. Anyway. So let's make it. Oh, we need 1 billion making... Did those not get the beacons applied? No, they did not. Okay, that's not too bad. Alright, so I'm leaving space over here. I'll make it right about here. We'll leave plenty of space from the bus, too. Now, someone else was talking about this, and I'm interested to try it. What you can do is space them out and use... these advanced fluid handling pipes to connect everything vertically, and then you can fit beacons on both sides. But then they are spaced out more, which in a way is helpful, I guess, because then you don't have the weird alternating. Ugh. Something about this feels so wrong, but I think I'm going to go with it. There's something very nice about that in its own way. So yeah, we'll go like this, right, left, right, left. I don't know, that is kind of cool. I don't hate it, but it does feel wrong. Okay. Power. And then... Okay, water's easy. Need one of these. Water's the one on the left. Oil's the one on the right. Now our oil pipeline is accessible here. Okay. So tap into the oil from over here. Per refinery. How are you ever gonna get 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, these are just offset by 1. Screwed that up. That's how you get 10. Okay. I connected oil with the water port. You know what? I don't have time for this nonsense. The heck is going on here? Alright, just kidding. That's water. Okay, there we go. So we're cracking. We're cracking. We do need a belt for the carbon. Okay. Check. Then... Now... What we want... South doesn't have input pipes. Indeed, it does not. I'm curious if I want to set things up the same way as I did over here. Because this is set up very nicely in such a way that it does provide everything, and it can vent everything properly. It's a bit messy, but this will never break down, and especially if I need a bunch of lubricant at some point for belts or whatever. I don't know. I just want to have the possibility of things overflowing. So what I think I'm going to do... These are intrinsically going to be hooked into a few tanks before they even go anywhere. So we can read the levels there a bit more easily, and there's a bit of a buffer. And then from there, we need to crack the heavy oil. So I guess we should put this on the other side. So that's where we're going to be putting chemical plants. And while I'm at it, why don't we get some bot coverage here? Okay. So, chemical plant. Now, these ones I can just set up normally. I will have it on both sides eventually, Dave. I just don't need that much speed right now. I don't even think I have 200 oil a second. Okay, so we've got that, and then this, and then inserter. So that's good. Prod. I'll just do 3 for now. Reconnecting water. Good idea, Emu Bob. I would have figured that out eventually. Those are the things I figure out at the end when I'm just like, okay, is everything running? And then I just notice it's not. I don't necessarily miss those things all the time. I just am focused on moving forward, usually. Do the next thing. Fix the little things later. Anyway, so we've got the heavy oil, cracking into light oil. First, we need lubricant, actually. So this is going to be over here. So then lubricant is here. And we need graphite in for that. Okay. So that's the thing. So then we want a tank for lubricant. And then the heavy oil will only go to cracking if we have enough in the first place for lubricant. So then we need an overflow valve on the heavy. and it will only overflow into cracking into light. So do that, this, and overflow valve. Where are you at? There we go. I'll make a few of each. We're gonna need some for now. And yeah, we'll just put it, I don't know, 60% is good. That does reduce the maximum flow rate, but unless I'm doing like 500 heavy oil a second or something crazy, we're not gonna need to worry about that. You can always do pumps to help out. Okay, so that should be good. And then crack into light oil. So I think we're gonna do pretty much the exact same thing here. That makes carbon black. This makes oh, that's not the right thing, but I believe it also makes carbon black. Still not the right thing. There we go. Okay. So now the light oil. What needs light oil? Doesn't something need light oil? Is it rocket fuel? Yeah, rocket fuel. And or solid fuel. So those are the things that the light oil will go to. And then we will do a similar overflow into cracking. Sorry, light oil's down here. The one issue here is we need cracking to be the primary, like if we ever need to crack oil, we want that to come in first. So then this is a top-up. This needs to be a top-up here. To like 50. So the light oil from this can only be put into the network if it's lower. So essentially what that means is there's always room for cracking heavy oil, if that's what you need to do with it. And then same with, we don't need to do that with heavy oil, but I think we do with petroleum. This one's a little tricky, isn't it? Oh no, it's gonna mess up my perfectly nice thing. Okay, that's fine. We'll do this. We'll do the T, and then we'll just have this be the top up. Okay, so there's always room to crack, and then we also need to do the overflow into whatchamacallit, solid fuel. Because then if we need lubricant, right, then it's possible that we're maxed out on petroleum. We probably never will be, practically, given how many red circuits we're going to use so often every time we do anything or any research. And that's just going to get us way more lubricant to use. So, I don't know. Maybe I don't need to worry about it. How much does electric engines use? Very little. Belts are 20 each. I don't know. So 25k, well 2k is 100 belts. 25k is like 1,000 belts. So if I have like 6 storage tanks, that's 6,000 belts of a buffer. I don't know, that's probably enough. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so then we need to hook up this line. Beautiful. Okay, so that's done. And it's really fun to look at all of it at the same time, too. It looks really cool. Okay, so we've got our petroleum, and then that petroleum gets joined with alumina to make sulfur. Sulfur gets joined with lead to make sulfuric acid. Petroleum also gets joined with tin to make organotins, and organotins plus carbon black plus petroleum. Okay. So we essentially still need 4 more rows here of thing. So first up is the sulfur. And that'll just feed in. And then we need alumina in, sulfur out. So we are going to need underground belts here. So that should do it for sulfur. And then we'll alternate sides of the belt, make our lives a little better there. Not that we're ever going to get 22.5 sulfur a second, most likely. But hey, you never know. You never know. Okay, so we've got that, and then we need this again. Heck, we'll just throw a couple down. Okay, so sulfur's done. This will be sulfuric acid, which looks like this, and then 2 in with none. I guess we can just do 1 belt. Numbers are pretty small, so no physical outputs for that. And then now we are going to need to power all this, which means some undergrounds here and there. Kind of have to manually do that because there's not always enough space. And then you are organotins, which require a solid input and have no solid output, but they have a liquid output. So this can just be a straight belt. And then plastic. All right. Oh, and we also need organotins here. And then a solid input and a solid output. So again, we need underground, that and that. The organotins just loop around here. They're not used in anything else, so that's nice. And then we can connect a bunch of plastic. Start with 6, but we can expand as needed. Oh, and then we need to alternate sides of the belt. Cool. And then plastic we might eventually need 2 belts of. Not insane to think about such a thing. So I'm going to just preemptively set up another section over here. With some space for that. We'll get some more bots placed. Cool. Okay, so I believe we have upgraded oil. Still a lot of little things left to do here, like connect all the solids and do our carbon black extra. Let me just make sure carbon black... Okay. Yeah, you can vent it, essentially, into graphite. So we will need an option for that. Was there 3 things that made it, or 4? Just 3. Okay, so then this will come across. And then this will be input priority left. This will be input priority left as well. And then this will be where the carbon black that's extra made will get thrown in. Which I guess we didn't do a good job leaving space for that, but by golly, we're not going to need very many. Am I brave enough to just do it this way? It can't use productivity anyway, so I don't feel like we need quite as much of a specific... I mean, that's already 4, and then that's going to give me 7.6, which is enough for, like, you know, 45 or 50 red circuits, so that's fine. We need the coal belt there. These come over. Input priority left. And they keep on flowing where they're needed, which is plastic. Okay. Good enough. Grab a couple... Uh-oh. Interesting. How are we gonna do this? I mean... I could... shift things kind of like we do with other assemblers. That's going to get kind of weird. For now, I'll just rely on the fact that we're not going to need insane amounts of beacon coverage quite yet. We will have to figure that out eventually. Okay, so now we just need the organotins, which need 10 coming down from on high here. So that'll be right there. Tins coming down, so lead gives some space. Okay. There we go. And then... organotins are good to go. Lead plates and sulfur. Okay, so sulfur could need to be split off. Some to go home to other things. And then lead will come in here. Okay. So, I don't even know if there's anything on that belt. But lead needs to be here. It's gonna be tricky. We'll have lead go here. Wiggle around. There we go. Lead's good to go. Sulfur needs alumina. Oh, and we need water hookups for a lot of these. It's the last one that needs water. Yeah. And then that. And that. And that needs to go to water. Okay. Alright. So that should do that. Substation. 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 Okay. Graphite down. What was it? It's so hard to follow sometimes. I think that's the tile. Got it. Graphite's good. And then heavy oil is there, which is good. It's not overflowing yet, so that's why we're not seeing anything happen. Same here. Sulfuric needs the alumina, which is right up here. And that should get sulfuric acid going. Or sulfur going, I mean. And then that will wrap around and give me lead. And the nice thing about this is these are all expandable, right? The reason I've been doing the designs this way is they're completely expandable up to a full belt of whatever it is. Or a half belt in this case. So there's sulfuric acid, 175 a second. That's not even with any speed modules in here. So that's good to go. Organotins have moved over to plastic, and plastic is good to go. And then we'll leave space for a potential second row of that, and then our red circuit factory will be over there. Which then is going to require a whole lot of assemblers. So we'll do that in the next episode, though. I'm happy with our new oil processing. We won't replace the old one because it's still doing good work, but I like this. This looks good. Feels very clean. So I do think we're going to call it an episode there. So as always, for those of you on YouTube, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.